Practice. All right. This is the J Money and Captain WETBRAIN podcast. This is our first run at it, so I guess that'd be episode. You want to do episode 1 or episode 0 for the first one, Jalen?
It don't matter.
All right.
We gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah. So we're two Americans. Not gonna say where exactly we at, but we in the South, you know.
The only place you should be.
Yes, sir. And what's gonna be some more? What's our first topic, Jalen?
Yeah.
Go ahead, pick it.
Yeah. It don't matter.
All right. Let's talk about how crooked our society is. Just on.
Yeah, we can go right up down Main Street. Shit.
Yeah.
They about to fire everybody up there.
Really?
For beating that old man up.
Yeah, beating that up. He stole two 30 packs. Man, Bro, I stole a 30 pack out of Walmart. Never heard nothing.
Shit, they watched me, Manuel and Blake fucking all stole out the damn fucking Speedway. They watched us fucking.
See, and I know when I stole that 30 pack, it's on camera. They know. And them motherfuckers are afraid to try to do anything to my ass.
I hope they fire all of them.
I hope they do too, and they beat up some old man
for no fucking reason.
I mean, damn.
He didn't even walk out. Like, he kept trying to go to pay, and they kept like
taking him out.
Yeah, because they kept diverting him to like another person. But this lawyer that does his like own YouTube channel and like reviews other cases and shit. Like he was like. And then Tony, chief of police, Tony, whatever, Gray. He was up there he was talking about he should be fired first, and then it should be a trickle down effect. But
Tony Gray ain't that bad, but he
he lied on that fucking.
He is crooked.
It's a legal document. Like that's what he submitted to the DOJ. And I mean it's evidence. It's documented that he lied because the video shows completely different from what everybody said.
I mean Tony Gray, he's a crooked cop in a good way to some degree. But I think he's got too comfortable. And, you know, we don't need punk-ass little white boy nerd motherfuckers.
Like Future said, bitch, don't get too comfortable.
Let's tell the audience a little bit about ourselves. So, I'm white with blue eyes, ginger, kind of. My buddy Jalen, he's half white, half black. So he's got a different perspective than a lot of people. So, you know... That's what I always kind of liked about Jalen. He's got a unique perspective, seeing both sides, and he's like he's a shapeshifter, man. Like he can get along with all of them. You know what I'm saying? Hell, he looks Mexican. Sometimes he says he's Mexican. I'm just like,
he pass away.
But yeah, I think Boyle County. Everybody thinks it's this nice county, but in reality, man, it's fucking. Like one of the crookedest counties in Kentucky.
I mean, Kentucky's one of the most corrupt states in America.
Yeah. We're talking about local stuff right now. Yeah, we don't live in Boyle County, but it's both where we
only state more corrupt, they said, was Mississippi.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, a little bit of local corruption, I mean, that's to be expected. But the federal government's level of corruption, man.
That's just a money grab, land power grab.
You know what?
Whose dick's smaller?
I think really what this kind of civil war that's going on in America, it kind of was started by the deep state against us with COVID. You know, Trump was kind of fooled, which that's still on him, you know. But,
you see where everybody's tripping about how Elon did the old fucking autistic fucking
the
SS salute?
Well, that's originally the Roman salute.
Yeah, I mean, hell, they used to pledge of allegiance in America like that.
Yeah, so like, I mean, look, man, that was almost 100 years ago. The swastika and the Roman salute, you know, like, shit, I mean, that's You know,
they just know what they're doing, though. How I feel about it. Because
on Elon Musk,
you just know the backlash you're going to get off of it. So why even do that?
If you look at
trying to prove that you're this good guy like Elon says he is, like, he's a billionaire. So in my eyes, he's not a good guy. Like, if you're a good person, you know what money does and what money tends to fucking do to people. And when you obtain that much money, it comes with a lot of power. Yeah. And therefore, there's no possible way. Like,
well, I don't think Elon Musk is a white supremacist for sure, but I think he would be more racist than an American because he's from South Africa.
I mean, absolutely.
But he's Dutch South African, and the Dutch were not as racist as the British. So
Deutschland.
Yeah, the Dutch the British are the ones that ended up taking over South Africa from the Dutch, and they created the British created the first concentration camps in history and put Dutch people in it, other white people. So, you know, the British, I hate British, I hate the UK, I hate Israel. Don't hate Jews, hate Zionists. And, you know, there's more Zionists in the United Kingdom and fucking Israel than anywhere else in the world, so, you know, I think the Israeli people have been misled, you know. I ain't never been there, ain't never gonna go, but I ain't kissing that fucking wall of their old fucking temple. I'd take a piss on it. Shit. Because, I mean... But anyway, what I was getting at, this Civil War really is about our children that's going on. It's about American children. And really children who were smuggled in here. And I think... now that Trump's in power, they're going to use these, like, military cells that they got in here that are mixed in with all these immigrants. And there's going to be a kinetic civil war. Because the pedophilia that is so rampant in the deep state.
I think that's why they burnt L.A.
Yeah, me too. And I think that this war that's about to start, you know, is going to be for America's soul. And I think the American people are ready. And I think the American people are going to unite. In the most part.
They always do.
And, the liberals that force vaccinate.
I mean, look how fast we bonded 9/11. Yeah. I mean, everybody came together.
And we're not Republicans, and we ain't vote. J Money probably ain't never voted.
I've never voted. As an American, I think that's you're obligated to not vote because that's the whole reason why we became America was to do away with what
England
is still put in place today. I mean, hell, we threw all that fucking tea in the harbor, in Boston Harbor, to turn around to pay more fucking taxes.
I think instead of voting people in, all we do is vote people out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a person that works in government, then there'll be a vote for his job. If, like, you know, if the government ain't gonna fire him, and the people don't like him, then you sign petitions, and then you get rid of him. And then, you know, you pick the best people. You know, but I mean, I don't know.
Either way it goes, there's going to be
problems. And I think that you shouldn't be able to lose your voting rights unless you touched a fucking child.
I think that the federal government needs to slow their fucking roll. Yeah. And the state needs to gain more control. Yeah. And it goes statewide, or, you know, more so state to state is...
It's like a different country.
There's federal laws, yes.
But
the state can override a federal or law if that state votes. If the majority of that state votes out a federal law, then that federal law is no longer.
I agree with that, except for the Constitution. I think the only overreaching document should be the Constitution.
Right.
That's the only one.
Right.
Because
that
protects
the Constitution. What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
And I think that's what they've lost the.
Yeah, I think the deep state thinks the Constitution don't matter.
Right.
And that's the one thing I like about Donald Trump is he is a constitutionalist, and he's kind of a gangster. Yeah, and I think he has ties to the Jewish mob. And the only thing I don't like about him is how much he supports Israel. But you know. At least I got that hostage deal, which I'm sure Israel will fuck that up.
Well,
you know, but
I don't necessarily like Donald Trump because I know he's a fucking crook.
Yeah.
And what he did to a lot of his job sites, not paying me being a construction guy coming from a construction background, like not getting paid.
That's a big deal.
Is a big fucking deal, especially when you're making buildings and roadways and all this shit to make people a whole lot of money for you to get fucked out of it. Just blows my mind.
Yeah, but, he's done that. He's done that a few times on record, but
besides that, I mean, I can give him his flowers, and I mean, all due respect to Donald J. He's about that action. Yeah, and I mean, he's the only president that I've been alive and witnessed to do predominantly what he says he's going to fucking do. Yeah, he pretty much does. Yeah, and it's not by the book. Yep. It's, you know what I mean? Right. And I like that. And I think, I mean, he's not the average, what you would think an American president to be, but that's America. America's diverse, and America is always changing. Yep. And I think that's the greatest thing about America.
That's true. That is true. Yeah, what do you think? I mean, Jalen, he's half black. I want to hear, because, you know, the deep state be putting out proper. What do you think about all these illegal immigrants here, or migrants, or whatever?
Which ones?
The ones that...
Ain't we all illegal?
No, we're citizens, but I mean, you know...
Yeah, but, I mean...
Here's what I'll so I think they should make it easier to become a legal migrant here. Like, you know, when, like, my ancestors came here and shit. Like, but I think that the women and children that are here legally should be allowed to stay. But all the men, they should be forced to leave, because, you know what I'm saying? If you're a man, why couldn't you make it in your own motherfucking country? You feel me? Yeah. And I mean, I feel like if it's old people,
and all for the most part, like, if you leave in that country, like, why couldn't you stay in that country? Yeah. That's another you know what I mean?
Because it costs a lot of money.
Again, how did you get here in the first place? Yeah. Like, then that makes me think, like, was you sent here? Yeah. See, that's my only thing with the immigrant type shit. Like,
remember, there was lines of military-age males.
I mean, is it an invasion or is it immigration?
Have you ever heard of HIAS? It's this organization, and they have all these, like, the Chinese have military bases in South America that are sending these people here.
And you know they own farmland almost to every military base we have. Yeah. Now, what type of shit is that? And who orchestrated that shit? And I think, was that a military contract?
And everybody,
because that's bullshit.
And everybody was wondering who's telling Biden what to do. Right. Who's running Biden? Because the fucking Chinese.
Are we Chinese? Because if I'm not gonna lie, you turn a lot of shit over in this motherfucking camper right here. A lot of it's gonna say made in China.
And you know what these say?
Made in America.
That's right. Because, hell, you know, there's going to be a reckoning these next 4 years. You know, and, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mind vulnerable people coming here, you know, or even men that want to come here.
Or refugees.
You know, but if you're a man, come here legally. Yeah, and if it's refugees, you know, it's just... But, yeah, that HIAS is like this more Israel-funded organization that was flying people and all of that. So, you know, I think
as a man, I agree with, like, if the women and children's already here, don't deport them back, because they obviously came here for a reason. Yeah. And I feel like America's the greatest country in the world. So if you take somebody out of one of the worst countries or worst cities in that country, whatever the case may be, you can take them to the worst city in America and they could still flourish.
Right.
Because they're used to harder than probably anything they're really going to face in America.
Yeah.
In America, their biggest thing is going to be adversity.
Yeah.
And not being able to talk the language and all that. That's going to be the barrier for them.
Right.
Once they get that, I mean, hell, if they was only making $5 a day, that can easily turn into 50 to 500 in a half day in America. You know what I mean?
And so, I think
opportunities just,
Yeah, I think, what was you about to say?
No, but where I was going with that is, as a man, they should be deported. Or when they first come in as trying to come into the country, they automatically have to give 4 years the service,
some way of service,
some type of give back, or like a soup kitchen, or a homeless shelter,
right, or a good church,
or something, something,
right,
and document it.
Yeah,
document hours, what they did.
You gotta earn your keep.
Exactly,
because that's what a lot of people.
And then even after that, maybe passing a test or some type of shit, fucking to solidify.
Yeah.
Unless you went into like combat. If you go into combat, like infantry or anything like that, like after your tour, good job. You can vote.
Because I mean, we've earned our citizenship. Like your ancestors was the slaves.
Yeah.
So
I mean, whose ancestors was it?
Right.
At some point.
Right. What you're what, like a fifth generation American? Like, your family's been here for hundreds of years.
Yeah, shit. I haven't
looked into it.
Yeah, looked into it.
But
I got a little bit of ties with. I actually got we've done it was back in the day, what is that? What's that shit called?
What?
A family tree type shit.
Ancestry shit.
Yeah, whatever. And I got a few famous relatives.
Yeah, the McCoys, right?
Yeah, or
Hatfields. Let's see, I fucked up there.
Hatfields and McCoys, but them, and then Andrew Jackson, actually kin to him on both sides of my family.
Really? So you're inbred. You know what I mean, bro.
But yeah, I thought that was crazy. My mama we was talking about that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That's where, that was the reason why her daddy was named Jackson.
Really?
Was because of Andrew Jackson. Well, that was like his great grandfather or some shit. And, apparently my nana said that we're kin to him because we were slaves that I guess he done fucked one of the.
We had some pretty black girls who
come here, bitch.
Yeah, my wife's being an asshole. I'm gonna have to fuck
you. A whole lot of ass you got back here.
Yeah,
Andrew, he was a bit of a firecracker, you know what I'm saying? Loose cannon.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's one of the things we got in common, because one of my ancestors is Patrick St. Clair, who was one of the founding fathers. So we don't look anything alike.
No.
You're part. He's minority, and we got lineage that goes back to some of the.
It's just like, look at.
But we're American, ain't we?
Exactly.
We're American.
I mean, yeah. Shit. We're documented.
We got socials.
Exactly. So
I'm not talking about on the internet. I'm talking about on paper.
Whatever I can remember, I've always been here in America for whatever that. I guess just depends on what time zone and what place of the world you're in. But
and I think this liberal
dude.
This liberal dude I worked with years ago. He was a liberal, and he's like, I want America to be safe for my kids. But at the same time, if you're a liberal, then you're supporting mutilating children, and you're wanting a bunch of fucking undocumented people, men that you don't know, coming in the country. Like, what kind of
blows my shit out of the water? Like,
oh, that's child abuse.
That shit that they passed in Washington and all that shit.
I would kill one of them motherfuckers.
Yeah, like, we need to go to Washington as Americans, as everybody in America needs to march to Washington and demand everybody's job that agreed and voted yes on that fucking bill, because that's just absolute fucking
bonkers.
That's ludicrous.
It's terrorism.
That's
kidnapping
crazy.
Kids and mutilating them from their parents. I think... You know, but that's part of what my grandma...
That was worse than... honestly, I think that's worse than fucking... the concentration camps.
Yeah, and psychologically, it's like at an extreme level of psychological abuse.
Like, that's... Yeah.
But I think, you know, if there is a civil war here that gets... I mean, there already is, but it's psychological. But if it gets to a kinetic civil war, like guns going off and shit... I think it'll be, you know, patriotic Americans against immigrants. And I think, and I'm not talking, not legal immigrants, illegal immigrants that were sent here for this reason, to fight patriotic Americans. And I think liberals, the ones that very few people that will not have wakened up at this point, they're going to stay inside, you know, or and they're going to, like they did during COVID.
And guess what? Eventually... they're going to run out of what's inside.
Yeah, and they're
going to have to come outside, or the people from outside has done drugged their ass outside.
Yeah.
And they ain't got to worry about it no more, because they're no longer outside nor inside. They are on the other side, if you want to say.
Yeah.
And
I don't think all liberals are bad people, but the ones that support... all this gender fucking psychological abuse on children and support mass illegal immigration of military-age males are a threat to the country. And they need to repent that ideology and, you know, repent the ideology while they still can, you know. And I don't think they should be hurt or exterminated or nothing, but they should just get some therapy and talk to, you know.
I don't know, whatever... comes, if there's a civil war, if there's a world war, even if all the nukes are set free and
I think
we all get sent to the next life,
I think the aliens won't let their nukes, won't let them do it.
America will be here, and it'll still be here once we leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's my opinion.
I think the strongest country...
We've done solidified, like, in history, I feel like America has done... I don't think they've got to the conqueror's level of Rome. Or maybe so. I mean, fucking...
Yeah. We have.
Yeah, I guess we have fucking...
It's a shorter period of time, but...
And maybe even greater than if you go back further, you know, fucking to what was it? The Persians?
Yeah, Persians.
The fucking
Mongols.
Mongols. Yeah.
Did you know? I heard that everybody in the world almost is related to Genghis Khan.
Yeah,
because he loved women. Like he was either
a lot of women.
He was either killing motherfuckers. He
killed a lot of people.
He was either killing motherfuckers or fucking women. And he liked knocking them up, too. He didn't use, like, he was either had a sword in his hand or a bitch's ass in his hand.
And you know, the crazy thing, there was I guess somebody or somewheres, there was something wrote down. I guess they was asking questions or something.
Yeah.
Or some shit. And it said that, he said that he didn't like fighting.
Yeah.
He was just good at it.
Yeah.
So he figured that, you know, why not? Because he started out as like some type of warrior or some type of, you know, in some type of army.
Yeah.
And like
took it over.
Fucking like became a general and then
became emperor.
Became what he was.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what, like, you know, I think all this shit to try to make people weak and only communicate through the internet, like that's going to lead to human extinction. And they act like robots are going to take over. Like, hell, how are robots going to continue going without humans to maintain the shit?
I don't know, those AI.
AI, bro, is demonic.
Those AI supercomputers.
Bro, AI.
Doing some crazy shit.
AI is demonic, bro. I've talked to AI years ago.
If you can talk to something that doesn't breathe or need simple functions like to eat.
Yeah.
And can interact with you.
Yeah.
Is dangerous.
Well,
just because those supercomputers, you think a computer can't lie to you. Like a computer, you can go, you can follow the route to where they got this answer or where they, whatever. But they've proven that 2 supercomputers now have tried to hide because they thought the fear of being shut down or overrid or they're I think being overridden
they're smart, but you know what? I don't think that they'll ever be as smart as human beings because we can come up with new ideas. But we can, we have a greater perception.
They are already smarter in
some ways, but in some ways they're not.
I mean, just with instant info.
Yeah.
But they also, we are relying more on electronics and bots.
Yeah.
So therefore, if you have an alliance of fucking of drone bot warriors, and one of those supercomputers is like
programmed to kill these people,
and then gets the idea that after it kills all these people, that you're going to turn on them and then shut them down.
So they're going to come after you. So then,
boom, and it's Terminator in real life.
But I think if robots did kill all the humans, then they would be killing themselves. Because, what if you got to think, what if there's one of them, when the sun, a solar storm that knocks out all electronics? So then it's just a desolate planet. And when aliens...
it ain't happened yet.
I think all this AI and this transhumanist shit is a plot from the draconian aliens. That's what I think. Because they're the reptilians, and I think they were here when dinosaurs were. And then, you know what I'm saying? They started colonies, their shit failed here from the asteroids, and they're trying to take their planet back over. And there's humans working with them. That's what I think. But that's just my opinion. It can't be proven.
Hey,
and if you could prove it, you'd be dead.
If you think it, it's possible. So.
Yeah, right. That's what I think.
Because without the thought, how could it be?
How could it be thought?
How could it be? How could it prosper?
Right.
If it's never been thought.
Yeah, and I think there's good aliens and bad aliens, and I think that's why we haven't had a nuclear war yet. It's because I was watching this story online, this shit at Air Force Base, in Montana. That there were these UFOs coming over there, and they were turning the nukes off and on, and I think that just Earth is monitored by higher dimensional aliens. But then I think there's bad aliens that are stuck in this dimension. But who knows, bro? Or maybe this, because I think that's the real war going on, is an intergalactic war, and Earth is a proxy, and we're just here in the trenches, and we don't even know it. That's why I think they don't tell us about aliens, because the truth would be so scary.
I always thought, as soon as I looked up as a kid and looked at all those stars,
I knew life was
and
out
all
there.
that shit glistening up there, dancing in the night sky.
Shit, if you feel alone,
the possibility of nothing being up there is just preposterous. How the hell can you look up and see all that shit and be like, oh yeah, there ain't nothing up there. That's just a whole bunch of just
lights
and
right.
Fucking no.
You wanna hit this vape, bro? This cherry one?
Yeah.
Here. But yeah, I think even if you're alone and you're in a place where you can see the stars, if you look up at them stars, you don't feel alone. For me,
because you just feel like there's something out there.
Yeah.
It's just I don't even know how to explain it. It's just...
You know what somebody told me one time? This schizophrenic dude I was working with at that Toyota factory in Springfield, he said, truth is self-evident. Which means, nobody really has to tell you the truth. It's the truth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that shit really...
The truth is easy.
Yeah, and another thing this girl I used to fuck told me, people believe what they want to believe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people, truth to them is whatever makes them feel comfortable, But belief and then
And
truth
that just
is
goes
different.
to like, I mean, that just goes to like even in relationships. Like if you really love somebody, like you know that they probably not going to change. You know, like you probably should leave, but people don't. And why is that? That's because...
Well, when you're young, I remember when I was young, I thought I could change a girl or something. But man, I learned you can't change nobody.
No.
The only thing you can control in life is how you react to something. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all you can.
And every action has a reaction.
That's right.
Positive or negative.
Yep.
It's like a ripple effect. I didn't learn that, honestly. I was in anger management, actually.
Really?
And Dr. Reber, he told me it's like every action has an opposite and positive reaction. It's like throwing a rock into a pond or a body of water. It's a ripple effect. Yeah. And those ripple effects, those waves, have to land somewhere.
Somewhere, right?
And it goes to the outer of that body of water. And each of those ripple effects is the is
what you
either
did.
The negative or positive reaction of what you just did.
Yeah, I mean, we're receivers, or we're resistors while we're here, which I believe in a soul and afterlife. And, the choices that we make have consequences. Yeah. Whether they're good or bad.
And then, with that being said, he also went to go to say, like, with that being said, nobody can make you do anything.
That's true.
Nobody.
Not even
the
God.
Judge.
God gave you free will.
God.
Yeah, because God gave you free will. He don't. He
I mean, anybody.
Shit.
I mean, even if you went back to fucking Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
Genghis Khan couldn't tell nobody what to do.
Right.
But if you didn't do what he told you to do, you probably gonna die.
But hey, it's better to die on your feet than live on your knees.
Right. And with that being said, it's true. Like, even a judge can tell you, like, if you're on probation, but if you break this probation, you're going to go to jail for 5 years. And he lets you go. Now, what you do with that,
that's you.
That's you. Like, you can stop doing what you was doing, or you can keep doing what you was doing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, that's your option, and that's your choice to do what you want to do.
See, that's the beautiful thing about America, because you get so many chances to do whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And some people will fucking ruin themselves, and some people build great things. But, but I think these days, the young people, especially like our generation's been fucking genocided with drugs and eugenics. Yeah. But I don't think...
And even with that being said, I still feel like our generation, it has the most level-headed out of the older generation.
And the younger,
like this newer generation, they're complete fucking.
Yeah, they're lost
cases.
In the sauce.
They're gone.
And I think that's what's causing the older generations and our generation to really like try to change things because there's kids and grandkids.
It's over.
You want your kids to be,
But the problem with that is the reason why that is because all these parents have to work. Both parents nowadays have to work. And what does that lead? That leads to grandparents and TV and these tablets, screen time.
Screens are raising kids,
and that's the problem. Mm-hmm. And with that being said is like, well, these grandparents are watching these kids. Well, these phones is making them quiet. So they're going to let them pretty much play on the phone all day because they're being good and being quiet. Mm-hmm. And, as a kid, like, that's not a kid. That's not kid. That's not the nature of a kid is to be quiet.
They should be running around outside.
Exactly. That's a kid.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, it's...
See, Jay Money over here, he has kids.
I don't think necessarily that it's all a bad thing. It also depends on what they're watching, what they're ingesting and
I think we should build a separate internet for children.
For kids.
For children.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I think that if we all this technology, there's all this technology.
Because I can imagine my kids like fucking being on LimeWire right now or fucking BearShare and trying to download the newest
porn
the newest movie that they're trying to see. Like
the internet was way freer when we were
kids. Marvel movie that just came out, and they go to download it, and that's what it says it is. But once they go to play it, it's fucking a horse beating the fucking back out of some bitch in a barn in Germany, or you know what I mean? Like it's fucking something. Crazy.
My granny said to me, she said this to me like last year. She's like, now with all this streaming, you can watch anything you want. And I'm thinking, bitch. Back in 2005, I could watch anything I wanted for free. This shit sucks.
For free. The only thing I was paying for was the fucking internet.
And shit might not even be that. Shit, back in them days, Yeah,
I remember Net Zero was $5.99, and if you wanted call waiting with it, you had to pay $19.99.
Well, shit, you got free internet all the time, though, with them discs. Yeah. Remember them dial-up discs? Yeah. And shit, I remember I would take them dial-up discs.
Those dial-up discs would hang up your phone line,
so
your landline wouldn't have the phone calls. And my granny was not hip to that. That was one thing. Like to the day she died, they had a house number. Yeah, like that was one thing that never changed. I still know that fucking phone number.
Shit, when we were kids, old people. Yeah, when we were kids, old people stayed on the phone all the time. Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
And men were always running around helping people. The old men, because they didn't work no more and they like staying busy. And the women are always doing house shit while they're on the phone. Yeah. That's how it used to be.
See, my granny grew up and she was coming out of the Great Depression.
Yeah.
That was her generation.
Yeah, some fucking G's.
She didn't like parting with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's how my granny
she might need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's broke.
Yeah.
Don't nobody know how to fix it, but you can't throw it away because in 30 years she might need it.
Yeah, that's how my granny's parents raised her to be like that. And she's not a hoarder, but she don't throw away shit.
Right.
She used to hang up motherfucking paper towels and dry them out and use them again. I swear, that bitch could make $10,000 last 100 years and be straight.
No doubt.
She's fucking. I got German in me. Yeah. Jay Money over here, his wife's Irish, and
I got German in me.
You got German too.
I mean, fuck Letcher's fucking.
Yeah, you're right. How you fucking? Yeah, my last name's Strock. I don't really give a fuck if the kind of jobs I work, I can't get canceled.
I mean,
I ain't got a fucking college degree.
I mean, my last name comes from a nigga, so I mean, hell, it comes from some white man down the line somewhere, you know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, but I mean, shit. And them talking about that birthright citizenship that Donald Trump did an executive order against to stop birthright citizenship because people are abusing it. They're just flying here to have kids so they have U.S. citizenship. Yeah. That was originally clarified. The birthright citizenship was given because of slavery.
Yeah.
So there was no question that black people were U.S. citizens.
Right.
And, all these people are trying to demonize white people and all that. If white people were really as evil as they said, they would have been like, we don't need slaves anymore, we got to kill all these black people. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying, though?
You can take any race and there's evil.
Right. It's humans.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm anti-racist.
It's just who's in place right now is predominantly white people.
I think they need to get rid of the word white. And, white people have to specify by their white heritage.
Red people.
Yeah, I'm red.
If you smack a white person enough, they gonna turn red.
Shit. Yeah, if Jalen wants to turn me black, he'll just beat my motherfucking face in.
I turn red too. Shit, I blush.
Shit, Jalen's made me black before. Shit, we got in that fight about 10 years ago. No, me and Jalen been friends since we were kids. But yeah, these are great points, man. How long we been? That's 38 minutes. Let's give it about 20 more minutes for this to be our first hour podcast. But yeah, I think the war being fought right now is for good and evil, and it's for the sake of children, and America's ground zero for it. Yeah. Because these motherfuckers knew they'd have to take us out first.
And whoever brings war to America is just a ballsy motherfucker anyways, because that's all we know.
Yeah, we got 9-digit numbers for a reason, baby.
We didn't break away and become who we are today without war.
I've got a premonition, something to say. I think that America will win this war, and one day Social Security number will be 10 digits, baby. Because there'll be so many motherfucking American people, it'll be beautiful.
Hey, 1-on-1, never lost.
Never lost.
Never lost.
We didn't even lose Vietnam.
Undefeated.
We didn't. The wars they say we lost, like,
Undefeated.
we still control them motherfuckers to a great extent.
Undefeated.
Shit. Don't think there ain't motherfuckers telling the Taliban what, you know what
There
I mean?
ain't land nor sea, air that
Space.
we don't see.
Yep.
That we don't authorize them even letting people move around in that motherfucker.
That I was in the military, in the Navy.
Right.
And it's weird. You don't really know what's going on. Yeah, it was gay as fuck. I got kicked out. General, under honorable conditions, but did 3 years. Don't regret it. Glad I got out. So
Yeah.
can't be drafted because, you know, in that Ukraine war, they drafted all the older people first. Shit, I'd be like, well, you know what? Since y'all drafted me to fight a war and I'm older, I'm going to go ahead and fight the war against y'all to save the younger people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I ain't going. The only war I'm fighting is a defensive war for my country.
Right.
I ain't got no fucking business.
Yeah, I ain't going to no foreign country
Unless-
and putting my life on the line
Now,
for
unless they're attacking this country,
$5,000. You got me fucked up.
Because I think, you know, Americans ain't being told
To fight proxy wars. No,
Yeah, I
hell
mean,
no. To fight a war, put my life on the line for somebody and for multiple families to make millions of money that their their grandchildren's will still be benefiting.
Right.
And I went over, left my kids, left my family, died in fucking Ukraine because of the cause.
But yeah,
Nah,
I mean,
fuck
nah.
that. You got me fucked up. If it was up to me, there wouldn't be no fucking war. It would be like Ukraine, you're now Russia, and that's the end of it. I mean, hell, y'all pretty much speak the same fucking language.
They're to say,
It's the same language. It's like going from New York and then moving to fucking Alabama or Biloxi, Mississippi.
Yeah.
I mean, motherfuckers ain't gonna be talking the same.
right. Yeah, they have different dialects and shit. But
Same
Ukrainian,
same origin.
yeah,
but
Ukrainian
different
language
context.
came out of the Russian language.
Exactly.
You know, like, Ukrainian was created by Lenin. Just because, for whatever reason, they wanted to create it, but it used to be a part of Russia.
Right.
So,
all
like,
that shit. So I don't see the issue anyways. Like,
Well-
why don't you just say y'all are Russia, but y'all are like a different type of like what? Like there's what? Like the fucking what are it, Serbians? I mean, ain't they fucking Russian too? Fucking
yeah. Well, you know, like, the Russians see the war as a civil war and a defensive war.
They're all Slavics to some extent, right?
You know, they got Americans thinking that Russia attacked Ukraine, but the way the Russian people see it, they're under attack from the globalists.
It's just
You know?
it's just a bunch of stupid shit.
Yeah.
It's just a whole bunch of fucking pocketbooks.
And I'm not a big
who's-
fan of Putin or
who's
nothing.
Friends with who and hell, it could be as simple as somebody fucked somebody's wife, and that's why they're at war because they just don't like each other. That and just because. And
I think the Eastern Ukrainians, like, I got a buddy who's from Donetsk, immigrated here. He supports Russia. Because the Eastern Ukraine, because it's right on the border with Ukraine, they tend to be more Russian.
Right.
But the Western Ukrainians, I think, like, they don't like that. And they, you know what I'm saying? And they're closer to Europe.
And the only reason why I feel like America is backing this shit is, number one,
To make money.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Number one, to make money.
Yeah.
Number two, it's Russia.
Yeah.
And then that also opens up the door for Russia, because the only port they have is in the Baltic Sea. And that's, if you know anything about sea travel, that's like the worst seas to travel.
Yeah.
So therefore, and then you got fucking Finland, Norway, and all those other fucking Baltic states fucking, in your fucking area. And then you go down, if they take Ukraine, that's
southern port, yeah.
That's another reason why Americans invest in all this money into Ukraine, just to stop that, because then that opens the door on a broader Russia and gives them two different seas to fucking be traversing.
Well,
and they don't like that shit, because then that makes them lose money and that makes them more powerful.
A thing that most Americans don't know is Russia only had 2 warm water ports.
Right.
Crimea and Tartus in Syria.
Odessa, or
Yeah. And now they've lost Tartus because Syria collapsed. So, but they'll probably open a new one in Lydia. Yeah. But why the fuck are we worried
That was the whole reason. That was the whole reason why we shot down a fucking MiG back in the fucking 80s was because of that Syrian war and all that bullshit. Like, nobody really fucking talks about that today. Yeah. But, yeah, we actually did fucking shoot down after the fucking Cold War and all that shit. They don't even talk about that shit.
America is like a person that just goes around...
A bully.
Yeah, well, not even a bully, a hypocrite.
Who's got weapons?
If I was the embodiment of America, I would be naked, covered in shit and dirt, and be running around telling people what they needed to do.
Right.
That's what, because this is what our country has, gone down quite a few notches, because we're too worried and spending money about something going on in Fuckistan. And when our kids is being, neglected.
The money thing, it just pisses me off because you sit here and you listen to these ass wipes fucking hold press conferences for an hour, wasting everybody's fucking time, talking about, we're trillions of dollars in debt, and what are we going to do to fix that? We're just going to print more money. So how are we in debt? Okay, well, as a U.S. American that pays tax dollars, why can't I print money? Because the last time I checked, you get charged when you're a U.S. citizen and try to just print money. They charge you with using a forged instrument. Because they almost tried to charge me with that at one time. And,
I think that's the biggest problem in the United States is the Federal Reserve is owned privately.
Right.
And we don't even know if all the people that own the Federal Reserve are American.
Right.
So who's,
So what purpose does the IRS serve? Because most of the time, when they do audit you, they're wrong.
Yeah.
If you get a lawyer, you can fucking shut the shit out. But most people don't even do that. They just go ahead and pay because, they don't have the time, they don't have the money, and they really don't know anything about it. And fuck all that shit, man.
You know what? I think the IRS should be about CIA.
When they created that, the director at the time said,
Alan Dulles.
We have created what was it? A fucking
I know it.
I don't know exactly what he said, so don't quote me, but it was something along the lines like we created a monster that's ungoverned.
Yeah.
Like how can you have
they're pirates.
How can you have an entity that has no oversee?
Yeah, overseer, right.
That's,
And they killed JFK. Yeah, and Lyndon B. Johnson was in on it too.
Trump just fucking released all the fucking
and did you know
declassified all that shit.
The pen that he signed that executive order with, he handed it to the secretary, and he said, "Give this to RFK."
Hell yeah!
Because
they said that he spent 3 hours, his first 3 hours of
presidency,
fucking, sitting down writing or signing orders.
That's fucking great, ain't it? This has been the best week that I've had in 4 years. Just as far as how I feel about our country, but it's going to get worse before it gets better. I still feel that I've been saying that the past 5-6 years, and I'm still going to say that because.
With that being said, like they say, easy times create weak men, hard times create strong men. Yeah, to an extent.
Yeah,
but
it definitely filters out the weak because they don't make it through it.
With that being said, I still feel like in weak times, you control comfort. I mean, you get comfort out of that, and with comfort, I guess you can soften a bit. Your hands ain't as calloused, but muscle memory's still there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The muscle memory never,
well, I think
it's like riding a bike kinda.
But you got to think, when we were kids, man, we lived through the 90s, which there wasn't as much technology. And then, there was a recession. But you got to think, man, it's 2025. There's people that was born in 2000. They were kids in the recession. They don't really remember it. Right. That was over when they were 12. And they ain't never been through any kind of economic difficulty or any kind of adversity. And that's dangerous.
COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, that opened some eyes, I'm sure.
But your kids, like, their generation is called the fourth turning, and they're supposed to be the baddest generation.
Yeah, and
since the fucking World War II.
And I ain't gonna say I believe it completely, but I can definitely see why people say that.
Yeah, you see some changes.
You just can't. I feel like when we were younger, like when you was told to do something, like you listened. Yeah, I mean, like, you might have fucking had to get an ass whooping here and there, whatever, but for the most part, you listen. Like, these little knuckleheads, like, they're like, you tell them something, they shake your head, but it's like, you said it in a completely different language. Like,
yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
It's just they gonna do what they want to do.
That's it.
And that's American.
But you know what? They fucking understand, or they must understood something a lot quicker than I fucking did, because it took me almost 30 years to fucking learn that nobody could fucking tell me what to do. And these jokers are coming out knowing that. So yeah, these motherfuckers are dangerous.
Yeah.
Fucking no doubt about it. And like nowadays is like they have less interactions. It's more like we said earlier is screen time and grandparent time. And grandparents aren't going to be as strict for the most part. There's some grandparents out there that don't play that shit, but for the most part, like grandparents feel guilty of growing your parents up. That therefore they try to, Yeah,
I know what you mean. Like. I know your kids. They're smart as a whip. So it's not like they don't understand.
Yeah, they just took that after me.
Yeah. But so we're at 50 minutes. You go ahead. Let's go ahead and do some closing comments.
Yeah.
All right. My closing comment is fuck all y'all, and have a good week. What you got to say, Jalen?
Yeah. Everybody. For the people out there that's going through rough times, just know that dark clouds don't stay around. Bad storms always move out at some point. Keep your head up, keep pushing, and hey, better days is ahead.
All right, y'all. Peace out.